Hi YouTube, welcome to my psychic reading on Aaliyah. Thank you for listening and watching. You can purchase your own personal, private, confidential, accurate psychic tarot reading from me at lamartownsendtarot.com or your own birth chart reading. If you have any questions, please check out the FAQ section as well as the personal ethics section. Once again on my website lamartownsendtarot.com, okay? Also, I would love it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification button so that you get a notification whenever I upload a new video. Also, please like me on Facebook and follow me on Instagram, where I do daily tarot pulls on both my Facebook and Instagram. And you can also purchase your readings directly from, you can purchase your reading directly from my Instagram. So, Instagram and Facebook are the places to be, alright, if you want to keep in contact with me, aside from YouTube, of course, alright? Otherwise, I thank you for listening and watching and choosing to watch this video. Now, I did a birth chart reading on Aaliyah, and I got a lot of comments. I got a lot of good feedback from that. So thank you guys for, appreciating that. I really appreciate you guys. And also, if you haven't watched that reading, please go check that out, because I think that would be very interesting in a different perspective. But I got a comment from a watcher, a follower, about doing a psychic reading on Aaliyah. And I was like, sure, why not? I've actually cut back on doing my celebrity readings on my YouTube because I'm my my ideology, I guess, methodology. That's what I was trying to say. Is some of my, I think not even some, I think my best readings are my paid readings, my client readings, right? So that's why I can't wait to hear from you for your own personal reading at lamartownsendtarot.com, or on Instagram, or wherever you connect with me, right? um so I'm like, I give these celebrities free readings on my YouTube channel, and they're free, um and it's just like, why should celebrities get free readings from me, or in my opinion, any other psychic? At the very least, they could reach out or say, oh my gosh, thank you so much, that resonated, or it didn't resonate, like whatever, like, what I'm saying, just acknowledge, especially those that watch the readings, right? And or just actually buy your own reading and get your own paid reading. Like, we're not, I don't want to be used in that way, so that's kind of why I've slowed down on celebrity readings, basically. So I kind of pick and choose, and lately I haven't been wanting to pick anyone or choose anyone. But Aaliyah is a different story. I love her, and I actually hold her very close to my heart. So let's get this started, okay? Um, Once again, if you would like your own reading, please contact me at lamartownsendtarot.com, okay? Spirit, please tell me. Please show me, Aaliyah, what messages do you have for your followers? What messages do you have? I knew this card was going to come out. What messages do you have for your followers? What message do you have? She's always watching. She's always watching. She's like, I'm always watching. I see everything. Aaliyah, what message do you have for the world? What message do you have for the world, Aaliyah? What's around Aaliyah? What energies are around you? What message do you have for the world? What message do you have for the world? She's like, I don't know. So, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Cups. And then the card that popped out was the Page of Swords. I feel like maybe are they might be trying to do something new with her music, something like some new music may be coming out or something like that. Um, she's also, like I said, very still close to Earth, very still close to Earth. Um, Not because she's stuck. I want to say that too. Not because she's stuck. Mainly to ascend the people, the Queen of Swords here in the past position. She was very, very persnippety, very, very um, agitated on the last day that she um, on the last day of her music video, and before she wanted to board the plane, right, that ultimately ended the way it ended, right. She was very persnippety that day. She was very like, look, I'm ready to go, I'm over this, I'm tired, let's just get this done. The Queen of Swords is always kind of controlling energy. I sometimes see it as mother energy, but it's very controlling, very persnippety, very my way or the highway, very cutthroat, right? She was also a Capricorn, and if you watch my birth chart reading on her, you will see that. She was very, very, I'm not in the mood for this today. The Chariot. In the present position. The Hanged Man in the future position. The Three of Pentacles in the conclusion. I'm also seeing a museum or like an artwork or something like that. A museum or an art. A museum or art. Something about museum or an art. I feel like she was very into Egyptian, artifacts. Like, you see these two, like, like African, Egyptian types of artifacts. I feel like she was very into that. Or she was going to get more into that if she were to, ultimately be able to, live out her life. She would have gotten more into Egyptian artifacts and, kind of, Middle Eastern and, things of that nature. I feel like we would have seen her kind of delve into those types of things, like her African side, like those types of vibes I'm feeling. I also feel like there were talks of there was like also like a already kind of a music project or something on the table prior to her passing. Like there was already treatment or like something was already laid out prior to her passing. Like we're gonna do this, and this is the next project. This is the next era. We're gonna do this, and this. This is just the blueprint. This is just the groundwork. This is the direction we want to go in. When you're done with this, and this, we can get started on this project. It was like that kind of energy. Like a lot of things were mapped out for her. There were also a lot of people you had to get through to actually get to her, and I feel like a lot of them were men. There were a lot of men that you had to get through. A lot of men, a lot of people, a lot of men, a lot of people you had to get through to actually get to her. Like she was actually quite, what's the word I want to say? She was quite hard to reach, hard to get to in terms of celebrity, in terms of that type of thing. Like, you know how some celebrities, this is kind of weird to say, but you know how some celebrities are just kind of hard to reach. Like, for example, like Justin Bieber would be hard to reach, clearly because he's Justin Bieber. He has all types of security and blah, blah, blah. Beyonce would be hard to reach, like Adele would be she was like that type of celebrity where she had a lot of people that like you had to go through, like, to actually get to her. You had to go through the management and the bodyguard and the assistant and the supervisor and like, before you actually got to Aaliyah. Very interesting. um she was very guarded in that way. I mean, like, sometimes I feel like even at points it would be hard for her family, like her brother, to get through to her. She would get mad about that too. She would get mad about that. I think she might have been on her way to a celebration of some sort as well on that day. Like, maybe they were gonna land, get some rest, and then it's like they had like a celebration they were gonna go to or something like that. Hmm. I'm wondering if she had a pet bird as a kid. Did she have like a pet bird? Can someone confirm if she had like a pet bird as a kid? I'm seeing like a pet bird or something like that. Or maybe she just liked birds. Something about birds. It's interesting because I also feel like she kind of maybe would have also went the route of Lady Gaga in terms of like being fashion forward. She was already kind of fashion forward, but I think she would have taken it to a next level. Like, I think she would have incorporated Egyptian art, like, I think she would have gotten way more artistic, like what, like a lot more artistic, a lot more symbolic, you know. But I think she was fighting. She would have fought. She would have fought, or she was fighting with her label in terms of that, in terms of her direction. I think she was really starting to veer in a different direction. It's literally like her label. Her label had her on a certain track, and it's like, it's like those really really boring roller coasters, or whatever. It's just like it's just like a one. You just keep going. It's slow. That's how it felt for her. It was just like a one track, very slow, boring. You know what I'm saying? Kind of situation. I think that last album was really exciting for her in a lot of ways because it was her owning her power and creativity as a human being, as an individual, but also as a woman, right? Um, I think she would have gotten better and better in terms of music, in terms of pushing the envelope. Her mother obviously talks to her and prays to her all the time. They're constantly communicating. I feel like her mother writes a lot. Um, And if she isn't, I feel like she should. If the brother writes a lot, or I feel like the brother is kind of the same thing for the brother. If he should start writing too, I think that would be very therapeutic. Very therapeutic. Aaliyah, Aaliyah speaks through. Aaliyah speaks to certain people. This is really, really important. Okay, so whoever needs to hear this will hear it. I hope. I believe they'll hear it. Aaliyah speaks to certain people that she um, had a deep connection with in her physical life during her time on Earth. She speaks to those people, some of those people, through birds. And I go back to, once again, remember the bird? I was like, birds. Does she have a pet bird or something? And then I remember, because I'm actually a fan of her. So yeah, I love her presence. I love her. Um, I remember during her funeral, they like sent out 22 white doves to like symbolize her life on Earth. I feel like she speaks through, or like kind of acknowledges her presence, or how can I say it? How can I say she communicates. She communicates through birds. She communicates through birds to the people she loves. And I know that might sound crazy, but every time I say something is crazy, I swear to you, it's true, or it comes true. She communicates to the people she loves through birds, or just animals in general, I feel like, but specifically birds. Specifically birds. Like, you know how sometimes you just have those weird moments with a bird where it'll just kind of just like, sit like, a foot away from you and kind of just look at you maybe for a few seconds and then kind of turn, and then kind of fly away. And it's like, that was really, really weird. It's like that kind of moment where it's just like, that was weird. Like, I wonder what that was about. It's like that kind of moment. Um, she was deeply intuitive, but I think we knew this. We as fans knew this. She was deeply intuitive. I also feel like she might have liked avocados or fruit as well. Like she was an avocado or fruit eater. She had some feeling, some sense that she couldn't shake off, some deep sense, some deep feeling like a week before. Like what is this feeling? Like I feel so weird. Like what is going on? Like it was some odd weird feeling that she couldn't shake. And it was almost like she was getting signs like to pay attention, like, but I think she was so maybe lost in her own thoughts of trying to figure out what it was. I think it was a mixture of stress, wanting to go home, wanting to be somewhere comfortable, wanting to be somewhere familiar, wanting to be somewhere where there were no bugs and where there were no maybe cameras or this or that, and but also the pressures, the stress. Her mind wasn't right. My mind wasn't right. I wasn't focused on the right things. And it's interesting because spirit spoke through her through animals. I don't think she realized that. She's like, I realize it now, but spirit spoke through her in her waking life through animals. So it's interesting that she kind of does the same thing. This is a really interesting reading. That's why. That's why I said, oh. It was a peaceful transition. It was a peaceful transition. I was safe. I'm safe. I am safe. It was safe. I am safe. It was safe. I am safe. It was peaceful. I am peaceful. There were actually members on her team because I know sometimes these Hollywood celebrities have people on their team who they're just kind of on the payroll. Um, and they just have a job. A lot of people, that's how it works. It's an industry. It's a you know how industries work. It's a corporation or whatever. Um, all artists have their own team. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes the artist team doesn't really have the best interest of the artist. They're just doing a job. They're just filling a role, right? But it actually feels like there were people on Aaliyah's team who actually really, really cared about her. Like, do you see this man right here? There was like a white man, kind of with long, kind of blonde hair, probably around the same age as her, maybe a little bit older, who was like actually really, really impacted by her death, I think, and was working with her or was on her team or worked with her at some point, like worked really closely with her. I think he was on her team or something with that, like that. Like was really, really impacted. Like he was really impacted. Like, oh my god, like what the like I see him being like, I don't even know who this guy is, but I see him holding his chest and being like, oh my god, like. Mm. um, Obviously it was a frenzy when it happened. I'm seeing frenzy, I'm seeing chaos, so um I actually think those who like saw it or were like in close proximity to it may have actually needed to go through therapy or something like that, or like may have had some emotional issues, for a little bit, for a little while. Hmm. I think ultimately we will kind of see her morph, see her image, see her likeness morphed into that of like a Marilyn Monroe type of thing where I feel like the family's still holding on very tightly to music. I feel like the family may give over certain rights to certain producers, certain artists to kind of incorporate her music into their own. Once again, I do see some type of project coming out though, possibly of like Aaliyah's, maybe like a a remix collection or with like a little bit of new music mixed in. But once again, I feel like the music is going to be given to entrusted producers. Okay. Um, Ultimately, I feel like we will probably see her likeness kind of turned into that of Marilyn Monroe, where kind of Marilyn's image is often used for makeup, cosmetics, and her own line of this and that. Like that's kind of ultimately what I think will happen for Aaliyah. Um, I think in doing that, it will be healing for both the family and the fans because the fans will be able to buy something that connects them to Aaliyah and also connects them to the family of Aaliyah. The living. Excuse me. I hope you don't hear my stomach. I'm hungry. But also connects them to the living kind of living ancestors of Aaliyah. But also the family will be able to own something of their own that they can kind of give as a gift and an offering to the public. All right. So I think it's a win-win for both situations. Mm, and she is still around us, still um, as beautiful as ever, and still such a beautiful soul, and we love her. Um, she's fine. She's healed. She's fine. Um, she's fine. They're fine. Okay. And they just want you to know that they're fine and to be safe, to be patient, to go after your dreams and goals, but also don't compromise for anything. Don't compromise your gift, your talents, your values. Okay. Always own your own stuff. Always own your own self. Own your own destiny. Okay. And I think that's the message that they ultimately want to come through. So thank you, Aaliyah. I appreciate you so much, and I appreciate you for watching and joining us. All right, and joining me for doing this reading. And I hope this gave you some clarity and insight. And I hope you share with your friends and family. And I hope you contact me for your own personal private tarot reading at lamartownsendtarot.com. Okay. Until then, or your own birth chart reading. Until then, I wish you nothing but the best, love, health, and lots of success, okay? Thank you.